what's up? It's Sean Baligian.
What up? This is Joique Bell here on the Baligian and Bell Show.
Make sure you check us out on the Woodward Sports Network. So what is going on? It is a Tuesday here at Woodward Sports. Not just any Tuesday.
Am I doing it?
You go right ahead. I'm pointing at the man. I'm pointing at the legend.
NFL Top 5 Tuesdays.
Top 5 Tuesday.
Top 5 Tuesdays.
You know what? I want a little credit. What you guys don't understand, and Joique, I think you were privy to this conversation. I have to say it because Adam's in the room right now. Okay, a couple weeks ago, we were talking about the Steelers going like this. And there were some haters around here that are saying, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And Adam and I were telling everybody, look, that team's in trouble. And they've been in trouble, man. There's no doubt about that.
Time. Now, you know what it is? It's, when Ben is in trouble, no one else has the ability to put the game in their hands.
You got it.
What's really keeping them in the games that they're in is their defense. I mean, they have one of the top 5 defenses in the league right now. And when you have a defense like that, it can, keep the score down, and hopefully your offense can get it going. And that's what's been going on for most of the season. You know what's funny? And we were talking about this with a guy that you played with Drew Brees. You're going to hear people say it, and I got it on Twitter last night. I was up watching the game, having some conversation with people and everything. Older quarterbacks are always going to hear this for as long as life exists on this planet. And people have been saying it about Tom Brady for about 5 years now. Drew Brees has heard it forever. And as you pointed out, it's not exactly like he's got a shotgun for an arm. But the whole Ben's arm is shot is going to be running rampant. There's no other way to say that. And it really is magnified, Joique, when you're not running the ball real well. Yeah. Although, let's give Snell some credit last night, but when you're not running the ball well, all that stuff's magnified, man. I know at the bottom 2 in the league in rushing as an offense. I mean, it's hard to have a balanced offense when you don't have a run game. So when Big Ben is not having a good game and his game is off and no one else is out there helping him out, it's tough to bounce back. It's tough to bounce back.
And you know what? I want to talk to a player about the disrespect we saw last night as well, because I'm interested to hear. We always hear media types talk about you don't dance on the logo, you don't disrespect the logo, you don't do any of that stuff. I'm intrigued to hear from this guy, that guy, of course, being Joique Bell. I'm intrigued to hear from him what the guys in the room are saying about stuff like that.
Now, we don't necessarily step on another team's logo unless it's a rival and there's been a lot of chirping during the game and the emotions are running high. Kind of example of, I think, who was that who were playing at Michigan State, somebody was waving a flag and dug it in the middle of the logo.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the emotions were running high that game. So sometimes it's reasonable, But other times, like what happened last night when Juju made that TikTok on their logo and then on that same logo got smacked. I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. I guess that's the universe talking to you.
That's for you. That's exactly it. The universe. The message is for you, young man. In case you missed it, Corey with a K, why don't we make sure we show everybody what we're talking about? This is what Juju does before games. So let's see if we can get that up for everybody.
TikTok?
Yeah.
We're going to get the Monday Night Football recap real quick.
Oh, you want to? Oh, let's do the Monday night recap real quick, and then we'll do that. That's my bad. I'm going to say it right now. I should go in the order in which we talked about it. So that's on me. That's how my brain works. So it's like, oh, we're talking about this, so let's go there. First, let's give you the Monday night recap. So what is up? There you go, Monday Night Recap. It's funny because somebody pointed out, and Demetrius, I tweeted this out last night. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean P. Bally. Demetrius said, guys, once upon a time the Steelers began the season 11 straight wins. Now all of a sudden they look like dog boop. What's wrong with these guys? And it's funny, I tweeted that out last night, Joique, during the game. I'm watching the game. That first half was as bad as any first half you could. The Steelers were awful in the first half. Absolutely awful. And I tweeted that out. I go, 2 weeks ago, the Steelers were 11-0.
Right.
And I mean, 3 straight losses. And it's not just 3 straight losses. It's the way they lost and who they lost to. They lost to a couple of bad football teams. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah, no, last night they looked like the 2-11 team.
Yeah.
They played like it as well. So it's like they reversed roles. I mean, they were flat. They didn't have an urgency. Ben wasn't comfortable in the pocket. Quarterback hit after quarterback hit after. And it was a brutal game for Big Ben. And then offensively, the run game was actually better than the passing game. I think total passing yards they had, what was it, 78 for the Bengals? And then I think they might have had 125 or 150. It was a joke. I mean, it was
absolute joke.
Yeah, it was a joke. So
I've always liked Gio Bernard, though. I mean, you talk about a guy that has seen some bad football teams, and he has been nearly replaced countless times during his career. And as a running back, you got to appreciate a guy like this. It always seems like people are counting out Gio Bernard. And Gio Bernard, couple touchdowns last night, man. Mad respect for that guy.
No, seriously. So I got a call from my father last night. He said, that Bernard kid, he came out with you, man. He's sticking around. He said, Division II, right? I said, no, you're talking about Bernard Scott. You remember Bernard Scott from Abilene Christian?
Oh, yeah.
And he ended up going to the Bengals. So every time I would see Bernard on the back of his jersey, I would think of Bernard Scott, but obviously Scott would be on the back of his jersey. But I have a lot of respect for Bernard. Like, people really thought he left the Bengals. But like, no, he's there. He's there and he's kicking. And he's thriving there.
No doubt about that. By the way, did you notice we changed during the break? Did you notice? Did anybody pick up on that? You guys like these?
You know what it is though?
Like
I don't know what was worse, man, or more awful. The Steelers play in the first quarter or these sweaters. Like, I don't know. It was pretty bad. Who got us these, by the way? Like,
Joey. It's Joe. The world of Joey, man. Joey does amazing things. There's just no other way to say that. I'll roll with this. I got no problem rolling with this.
Uglysweaters.com.
What is it?
Uglysweaters.com.
Uglysweaters.com?
Yeah.
All right. I'll roll with that. I think I might be wearing this Christmas Eve. Like, seriously, we're having a few people over our house and everything. I'll roll with this Christmas Eve. I got no problem rolling with that.
So what you gonna wear on Christmas?
You always dress up a little nicer, don't you? I think I'll wear the sport coat. No? See, I go to my kids' Grammy Whammies though, so I gotta present.
Oh, the whole family's coming up.
Yeah.
Grandma, grandfather.
To your place?
To my place.
Yeah. Are you cooking?
Sister, I might do something. I might cook the mac and cheese. I might cook the yams.
Oh, don't get me started. See, we're already getting off. Now once he goes down food road, it's like, ooh.
I might make a peach cobbler. I don't, for dessert, or a butter roll, as we talked about before. I haven't decided yet.
Nick on YouTube, we got the YouTube up as well. Nick gave the love emoji to these sweaters. Thank you, Nick. Yeah, this is dope, y'all.
This is dope, y'all.
Right? Couldn't I get away with that? With my, hey, homie, what do you think? This is dope, y'all. Right? Is this dope? Would we consider it dope?
It's all right.
No.
Did you
see that look?
It's cool. It's all right. It was in my contract, so I was forced to wear. I mean, I signed my life away. I didn't know I was signing up for it. Always read the fine print, guys.
Tom said there's truth to the Smoke, Ben, and the OC are feuding. Jenna said twins, freaking twins.
Yeah, Step Brothers.
Yeah, Step Brothers, right? I just watched that movie last week. We were talking about that. Great sweaters. Jenna said, no, Sean, no. So it's not dope. I can't use my what's up DJ voice.
There you go. Sean with the mean streets of Livonia speak. Throw the nails up.
Get those L's up. You know how we do in Livonia.
God.
So this is what it comes back to, though. We were talking about this just a moment ago. In case you didn't know what we were talking about, Juju does his TikTok before the game, and then Joique, you said it best. The universe.
Universe talking to you, kid. Universe talking to you. And you
Corey.
know, so hold on real quick. So Wayne State, we had this, our logo was the W, the dub, throw them dubs up. So in our locker room, we have like a big gold W in the middle. And around it, we have like the red velvet ropes that go around. You can't step on the W. If you step on that W, you gotta feel it. Like, you know, you gotta feel it from the whole team. And when I say feel it, you kind of get my drift, right? And so it's the uttermost disrespect, right? To step on another team's logo, and show the clip real quick. And this is what happens when you step on another team's logo.
Can't do it.
It's gonna catch up with you sooner or later.
Corvette.
And then
Motherfucking jet like that. Then when it's dead in the net like that. They
Yeah.
wanna pop, why you all like that? Why you tall like that? Why you all like that? I'm up for Eddie, I'm up like the.
There's some pressure from the Bengals. Roethlisberger, Juju Smith-Schuster is blown up, and the whistles blow.
Just watch him here. Just watch him just kind of hang there, playing like a one lurk, and watch him just come downhill. Boom! It's perfect. He does it perfectly. He knows it's coming to him. He knows Juju likes to run those shallow crossers. Perfect. Perfect execution.
I got a crazy stat when you're ready for it.
There
You know
we
what's
go.
funny?
There we go.
And what's his last name? Who made that hit?
Von Bell.
Von Bell.
Good stuff.
Von Bell. What's the stat for it?
Juju Smith-Schuster has more TikTok videos than receiving yards in a game this year.
There's more TikTok videos. What?
More TikTok videos than receiving yards in a game this year.
Jeez, oh, Pete.
How many yards? What's the most you had?
Yeah, unbelievable. Tom said, did Juju not learn from T.O.? Remember that? That's the epic one.
No.
T.O. on the Dallas Star. That probably happened 16, 17 years ago. Remember that?
And they ran down and hit him in the middle.
Yeah, they got him.
How long was that ago again?
That's probably 15. Nah, you know what? I bet 17, 18 years ago.
I
Early
do remember that.
odds.
I
Fact
remember
check
that.
me on that, Corey, with a K. T.O. standing on the Star. I'm gonna say 2002.
2000.
And it started.
It was 2000. It was 20 years ago. Wow, unbelievable. See, we were talking about that before the show. Time flies, man. By the way, Jenna said I'd rock those Christmas Eve and day.
96 TikToks. He hasn't had 96 receiving yards.
Wow, Fish, that's a good line. Thank you.
This year. Yeah.
95 TikToks and 93 receiving yards.
Damn, dude. Yeah, Jesse said no way 17 years, 7. It was 20 years ago when he was on the Niners. And I just remember this.
Yeah.
Was it Darren Woodson that clocked him?
I don't know who clocked him, but I do remember him being on that.
Yeah, I
Cowboy.
think it was Darren Woodson that clocked him. Do you guys get pissed at that stuff? Is that like in the game? In the game. Let's say,
Now, let's refresh our viewers' memory. Now, that was during the game or after the game?
that was during the game. He caught a touchdown. He ran back to the middle of the field, stood directly on the middle of the Star, in the middle of I think it was Texas Stadium at the time, and did this. He had the football in one hand, he had his other arm like this, and he just basically went like this in the middle of the Star.
Do that in the camera so they can see.
I don't look like T.O. Don't look like T.O.
Yeah.
But it was and one of the Cowboys, I want to say it was Darren Woodson, had a great career, Hall of Famer, went to ESPN. I think it was Darren Woodson came in and just clocked him. And then the second time T.O. tried to do it, they basically pushed him off the Star. Because he got away with it once and then he tried to do it again. And then there were a bunch of Cowboys there that were like, no, we're not having any of that. We're not, don't play.
Yeah.
I mean, that's in essence what happened. So.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean, it was George Teague.
It was George Teague. Thank you. George Teague.
George T.
Emmett Smith hit him during one of his dances. Yeah, because like I said, the second time he did it, they were like, no, we're not playing. We're not, this doesn't, does that does that stuff like you're meeting, defense is on the field, offense is meeting while they're on the field. Does word like that go down the line on the sidelines? Like, hey, you know what? Guess what this guy just did? Whatever the case may be.
Yeah, for sure. And so you might have it's kind of similar to when, say when Golden Tate, I think when he blocked, what was that, the linebacker for the Cowboys, right? And it kind of crawled after he. Yeah. I think he might have hit him so hard, like it split it, like he busted his spleen or something like that. Woo. And but he didn't know that. But when he hit him, he started crawling like that was a good hit. Yeah. And so when we played them again, the whole team had, they had the guns out for him. And so I think on the first play, we throw the ball to Golden again. And Golden takes it like 70 for a touchdown on the first play. I was like, well, you're not gunning for him for real, seriously. So, but no, we have those conversations on the field, and you have your teammates who have your back. They're gonna be, we're gonna hunt. We hunt for our guys. I mean, you shake our hands too hard, we want to fight. I mean, that's in Detroit we did. Yeah. I mean, kind of like with Coach Schwartz. So
Coach Schwartz.
You shake our hand too hard. Yeah, we gonna have some words.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Mm-hmm. Gosh, it seems like yesterday. That's another one. How was that 9 years ago? Like what?
2011, baby.
What the heck was that? You know what's funny? You just brought up something because I think sometimes we at home forget that. Golden Tate didn't realize that the guy on the ground was in some serious, shape and all that stuff. Yeah. One of the most iconic football pictures ever, and I always felt sorry for this guy because of it, but. You would know the picture if you saw it, but Frank Gifford is absolutely destroyed, and Chuck Bednarik is like standing over him, it's like, dude, how do you expect somebody to measure their enthusiasm, that hype, when you just made a hype play, okay? Right. If you run over some guy, you're not thinking, I just hurt the guy. You're thinking, I just punched my way into the end zone, ran through this guy. So I think a lot of times what people do after the fact is, Joique Bell has no class. Joique Bell doesn't know that the guy he just ran over has to go to the emergency room. You know what I mean? So I think people have kind of been unfair about stuff like that over the years.
Yeah, they are. But this is a brutal game, all right? And one part about the game is having that enthusiasm, because that energy, your teammates feel it. And so it's important to have that type of energy when you're on the field. When you're on the field at any point of the game, even on the sideline, hearing your teammates cheering for you on the sideline, like that's one of my favorite things to see. Is like if I was to make a play, I look at the sideline. I remember I would make a good play or a good run, and Nick Fairley would always run up to me and say, I love the way you run. That gets me so. I'm like, what? You on defense? But and that's when I realized how our team, we feed off of each other. Absolutely. And so it's very important that we have that type of energy when we're on the field. Period. And that's where I didn't see from the Pittsburgh Steelers last night. They played flat. I didn't see any energy. I didn't see an urgency. Like it was like watching a 2-11 football team. But the Bengals play, they had that energy. I mean, I guess when you have that target on your back, a lot of teams always brings that energy when they have to come and play you, right? And I just didn't see it from the Steelers last night.
They have really, if you want to go to the origins of what went wrong with the Steelers, they haven't looked like the same team since that game got delayed against the Ravens, if you remember. They have not looked like that. Remember it got moved to the Wednesday afternoon, and I was making jokes. It was like the Wednesday afternoon school special. Remember when we were kids, you'd come home and they got the afternoon special? It's like, oh, look, I'm home, and the Steelers and Ravens are on.
You know what, though? I didn't hear about after-school special until I watched Straight Outta Compton. I didn't know what that was.
For real?
Yeah, I didn't know what it was.
Oh, no kidding. Adam said Steelers are ass. Adam and I were talking about this a few weeks ago. I'm telling you, we were both sitting in the office going, there's a problem with that team. But they really struggled against the Ravens that game. Remember, they couldn't get anything going. And that wasn't the Ravens with Lamar Jackson. That was the Ravens with RG3, who, God bless him, is just simply put a shell of his former self. That was a guy, Joique, if you remember, because that was around the time you were starting to make a name for yourself in the league. I mean, everybody was about RG3. And he had that devastating knee injury. Right. And to put it mildly, he just hasn't been the same since then.
He hasn't. But you know what, though? I commend him on being able to fight through that adversity and get back into the league. And now he's somewhere being a stable second-string quarterback. Now, Is he the best? No, he's not. Right? He's not. He's a shell of himself, like you were saying. But I love his toughness. I love his. I just love how he can just fight through adversity and just be able to come back out here and perform. And that's hard to do when you lose the step and you know you lost a step. You have to kind of reinvent yourself. That's a tough thing to do, especially when you've been playing a certain type of way your whole life. So
that's such a great point, because I think each one of us in our life can relate to that in a certain regard. I mean, there are things now I can't do things that I did just 3 years ago. But when you're talking about a professional athlete,
for sure. Your wife told me the other day.
Boy, isn't that the truth? Boy, oh boy. She's gonna put a big thumbs up on there in a second. But no, you know what I mean? Like, for an athlete, all of a sudden when you can't do what you did before, then the mind, am I at the end? Am I gonna get cut? Do I have to start thinking about, life after football sooner than I thought I could and everything? It does wear on you psychologically, man.
It does. Life after football starts as soon as you step foot into the league. You need to be thinking about your exit strategy. Now, at the same time, you don't want to think about, all right, my career's going to be done then, but you set goals. So when I got to the NFL, my goal was to get to 4 years, right? Get four accredited seasons, get your pension, and then, go from there. And so when I got to 4, I said, okay, let me get to 10 now. Let me try 10. And the reason I picked 10 was because of Nate Burleson, Nate B. We had this conversation. He said when he first got in the league, his goal was to get to 4. Then when she got to 4, he said, well, you know what? Let me set a new goal. He went for 10. He ended up getting 11. I got 7. I wanted to get to 8, but it happens, right? The business side of it happens. But you have to call the audible sometimes in the way you play. And I know that's something that I had to do when I got into the NFL. It's a big ego check when you go from being the guy, and that's the tough thing too. When you go from being the guy, then you get into the NFL, then like you're just, you're a special teams guy. And for me, I never really had that big of an ego where I couldn't play special teams. Like, special teams kept me in the league until I got my opportunity. I didn't get my first NFL carry during the regular season until my 3rd year in the NFL. And then from there, it's kind of where it kind of took off. But before then, like, special teams kept me in the league.
I'll vouch for that too. I'm gonna get your back there, because you didn't have the ego when you were the best player in D2, and you didn't have the ego when you made the NFL, and you didn't have the ego when you started to make a name for yourself. I can tell you, every time I was in the locker room, I got a bro hug from you. I remember that. I mean, it was just like you were the same guy that I knew going back to 2009 on the Wayne State campus, and that's not always the case. Trust me. I'm not going to name names, but there's some guys that I got a chance to watch before they became something, and it's like, dude, what happened to you? You know? And it's hard because, I mean, all the trappings are there, though. I mean, all of a sudden you got yourself some money, you got yourself some notoriety. I mean, all those things that you hear about, you're shaking your head. I mean, you lived it. You know what I'm saying? I can't even imagine what that's like. No,
I mean, it can be a lot to handle initially. And I'm not going to say success won't change you. It will, but it's going to change you either for the better or for the worse. So for me, I think I was able to keep a level head just because of the way my mom and raised me, my dad, and people around me. But for some people don't have that same guidance I had growing up, right? And so for me, I just want to make sure that I treated everyone the same way with the same respect, and it worked out for me. Period.
All right, we got our top 5 in a couple of minutes here. Again, Woodward Sports. So glad you could join us. You like this? Come on,
Tap in.
All about it. I want to get to some comments. Scott said, remember all the guys Hines Ward laid out when throwing blocks? So many that they changed the rules on blind side blocks. Hines was an assassin out there. He really was.
Yeah.
He seemed like he was well respected. Is that a fair statement? Like, guys in the league really, even though there were some guys that maybe had some issue with some of his free hits.
I think he was before me, though.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think he was before me.
Okay.
But I love his play. I was there on the back end of other players that played with him. They were really good. So yeah, I never really got a chance to play against them. What
was that experience like? Well, you got hurt that game. That's right, the Pittsburgh game in 13.
No, but I was having a really good game that game. I think I got hurt probably the 3rd quarter, felt something pop in my heel by my Achilles, and so the coach pulled me, and he wouldn't let me go back in. Even though I was on the sideline, and they kind of, I could kind of fight through it, and he just didn't want to risk it.
And then he used the punter on a fake field goal attempt. Not that I went nuts about that or anything.
Yeah, you were nuts.
Don't get me started. I'm
no, it was good though, but it was great because Le'Veon Bell was having a good game for Pittsburgh, and then
where did Le'Veon go to school? Do you remember? I had to throw that out there.
Yeah, where's he from again?
Michigan State.
No, he went to Michigan, but where's he from?
Oh, he's from Ohio, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really. He's an Ohio kid. So.
No. You know what? It's funny. The reason why I say what was that experience like, because in college football you have to go see a game here, you have to go see a game there. Like Grand Valley is a great game day experience.
It is.
They literally have there's no other way to say it. There's just tailgating all over.
All over.
It's a really, really cool experience.
Like the student section is like a big hill, right?
Yeah.
In the corner, like a big hill, and it's like blankets and food and all the students with the shirts off, and it's crazy. I loved it.
So there's so many places in college football that I would recommend. Like you have to go see a game. Ole Miss, great, beautiful, awesome. Michigan, you have to go see a game at Michigan Stadium. You just do. Notre Dame, you have to go see a game at Notre Dame. You have to go to the Rose Bowl, right? We could sit here for the next 15 minutes and talk about places that you have to go to. Like you were talking about, going down south. I'd love to make that tour that you were talking about. All right, but in the NFL, it seems like there aren't a lot of places like that. For me personally, I've always wanted to see a game in Pittsburgh. I've always wanted to see a game in Kansas City because I've heard that it's
the frozen tundra,
tailgating, and Lambeau. You got it. Those are the only three that I have been, in fairness to Orchard Park. I saw a game in Buffalo, so that was a checklist. Too. But what other places do you go, man, I really got to get. Lambeau always comes up, I get it. I saw a game at Soldier Field, which was pretty cool. I thought
now we're talking about have to get there because the stadium has like that historical value, or are you talking about a stadium that's really nice and I want to go here just to see this
For
stadium?
me, a lot of it has to do with hype and game day experience, and I've heard nothing but great things about how loud Pittsburgh is and how cool it is around the Three Rivers and everything. And the same thing with Kansas City. I mean, what I was told as a barbecue freak is there's barbecue everywhere. Everybody's tailgating, and it's almost like a college football experience.
I'm gonna say this: one of the best places with food, barbecue, just food in general. You would not think it. Outside of New Orleans, is you got to go to Buffalo.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it. Nice people too.
Buffalo.
Really nice people.
You'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Go. What's the name of it? Is it Duff's? I think it's called Duff's. The chicken wing spot. I think President Obama went there when he came in town. I think it's like a little famous spot there. They have a few of them around the city, but it's called Duff's, and we'll go there all the time. Me, CJ Spiller, the guys, we'll gang up in the car. Who was Marcus, who was actually their second round pick that year. Oh, no, sorry, fourth round pick that year when I came in. We'll all gang up together, hop in the car, we go to Duff's, get something to eat. Oh my, my aunt and uncle come pick us up from Rochester, bring us back, cook a big spread on Sunday for us. It was good. It was good times out there in Buffalo. Yeah.
I had a great time, and the Lions won too, which was better. But no, I've always wanted to go to Pittsburgh. Always wanted to go to Green Bay, Kansas City. Those are the only ones. But in college football, I could sit here for the next 10 minutes and say,
it's different, though.
I got to go to this. It is. It's a totally different experience, man. It just is.
In D2, so you have to go to a Grand Valley game and a Wayne State game. You have to do it. I love it. You got to go.
I missed it so much this year.
Now, are they doing some renovations to the Wayne State football field? Well, stadium?
To the field itself, no, but they're adding the elevator and they're kind of pimping out the press box, which was overdue.
Yeah.
And props to the athletic director, Mr. Fournier.
Cause initially, did you know the history of that stadium?
Oh, with the crown and everything?
So, when that stadium was initially built, it was supposed to be a bowl stadium. Mm-hmm. And we probably would have been the only bowl, and that would have been a huge bowl stadium.
Yeah.
But I guess they ran into so many issues, so they built that one huge side.
Yeah.
and they put the fans, the opponent fans on the other side, like some smaller bleachers. But I think it was talks of them trying to finish that out when I was playing. I don't know where they are with it. I don't know if they're going to do it. But I'd love to see that as a bowl stadium, and we get more attendance.
Football in Midtown Detroit, I'm serious. I'm biased. I know he's biased.
Oh, yeah.
Try it.
Try it.
Come down. Corey, we're going to talk you to come down next fall, okay? When Wayne State's playing, you come down, see a game down in Wayne State. It is the tailgating in Midtown Detroit. It's just a fun experience, man.
I feel bad because that's where I went for my freshman year.
Yeah?
And I didn't go to a game.
Yeah.
There we go. We got Vendor Rose. Hey, Joique. Hey, Sean. Hey, Corey with the K. Hey, Grammy Whammy. How you doing?
Hey, going on, Grammy?
Hey,
all right, some other comments. I feel Mason said, I feel like the Steelers are just going through each game soft because they already know they made the playoffs.
No, but you can't do that.
You can't do it.
You can't do that.
I'm with you.
It's not. They're not a team that can just flick it on and off, and that's what it's looking like. They can't flick it on and off when they want to. And when you have an offense that's not producing or playing at the top tier, like Kansas City can flip it on and off when they want to. Green Bay can flip it on and off when they want to. The Titans are probably the next in line for that. But I'm ready. Let's get into the top 5.
You want to do it? Let's do it.
Let's get into the top 5.
All right, Corey, I know you got some video to share with everybody as well.
All right, now look, I'm just going to go ahead and preface this top 5. When you told me to do my top 5, I was of the mindset of like how the teams were going to finish out the season. So I kind of did like a projection instead of the top 5 currently, but here's the video.
So there you go. There is the video footage of it. I want to make this crystal clear. This is not my personal top 5.
Or mine.
For what it's worth, this is not my personal top 5.
And actually, me and Sean, our top 5, we just spoke this morning about our top 5 because I don't like to give out my scoop until I get here. But we went over it before the show, and we actually have the same top 5. We just don't have them in the same order.
There's a flip-flop.
It's a flip-flop.
There's a flip-flop in there. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
No, ladies first.
Boy, I walked right into that, didn't I? Didn't I? I walked right into that.
It was a great setup.
You know what? And I just have to keep my mouth shut. Sometimes you get zinged, and there's no reason to give the comeback. All right, number 5, I have the New Orleans Saints.
Hold on. Adam said he's very disappointed in your top 5. He's very disappointed. I agree. I'm very disappointed.
I know. Like I said, I was thinking about projections and not right now. It was my bad. My bad. I own it.
I'm looking at Adam right now. His head is down. His head is down over there.
There's a lot of shame over there.
Right.
All right, I have New Orleans at 5. I have Tennessee at 4. I don't think that Tennessee's getting the love that they deserve. And we talked about this last week. And Corey with a K, I saw you tweeted about this, and I couldn't agree with you more. On Friday, we talked about it on this show. People need to represent with Tannehill. The guy's having a phenomenal season. He really, really is. And I'm not saying that the guy's a stud because, as Joique pointed out as we were having a little pre-show conversation, my life would be made easier having Derrick Henry in the backfield, okay? I might look like a decent quarterback. Now I'm fibbing. But, I mean, I hope you understand the point there. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Tennessee in general, man. I really do.
Yeah.
I like the Titans a lot. Buffalo at 3, the Josh Allen train. I love it. Green Bay at 2. I think right now they are the best team in the NFC. And number 1, again, I've had them number 1 each time we've done this, the Kansas City Chiefs. Because, Joique, you brought up something that I couldn't agree more with. It is not every team that can just flip a switch, okay?
Right.
Like, I'll go back to the Pistons, you know, the Chauncey Billups Pistons. If it ain't rough, it ain't right, and we flip the switch. No. That didn't work. It was great for a year, but they got themselves in trouble the next few years with that kind of mentality. The Chiefs are one of those rare teams that they can have a bad quarter and a half, and then all of a sudden, what the hell just happened? Boom, boom, boom. There's 3 touchdowns on you,
Yeah.
because they have so many different weapons. It's amazing. Weapons with a W, not an L. So that's my top 5. What do you got?
My top 5 are, this is a flip-flop, the first one. I had the Titans at 5. Mm-hmm. The reason I had the Titans at 5 because I like the Saints offense better than the Titans defense, right? And I think that plays a big part. You have a number 2 offense with the Titans, and you have a number 3 defense with the Saints. And so that's why I had that flip-flop. I think the Saints will pull that game out, depending on if Drew Brees plays or not, if he's himself. So Titans at 5, Saints at 4. I have the Bills at 3, the Packers at 2, and the Chiefs at 1. Yeah.
Can't argue too much.
I can't, and I really like the Titans as far as the offense. They have the number 1 offense when it comes to scoring. They actually have more points than the Chiefs, actually, and you wouldn't think it. And I think that's why they're able to pull out these games because they're scoring high points, and their defense is playing just well enough, to keep the teams out of the game. So that's my top 5 right there.
You know what? Quick note on Seattle, because anybody that knows me, I've loved Russell Wilson going back to his days. I didn't get a chance to see him that much at NC State, but at Wisconsin, the guy just makes plays. I love Russell Wilson. If you've listened to me on the radio, you've probably, here he goes again. Really, I love Russell Wilson, okay?
Yeah.
That team's trending down. They're trending down, and I think it's a number of things. You got to remember, at the beginning of this year, this guy was on pace to not just break the record for most touchdown passes, but to obliterate it. He was on a pace, I think it was like through 5 games, where it was close to 70. I mean, he was, and you've just seen that go like that, and you keep that in contrast with their defense, and their defense is shaky, to say the very least. That's why I got Seattle dipping down a little bit. I really do. But they're there. They could make a good argument. We'll see. Is somebody going to beat Green Bay? I mean, it's not like Green Bay has looked unbeaten, and certainly they have their problems on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, to me, I think Green Bay is the team to beat. Are we not giving Tampa enough credit?
Nah.
We're going to get an up-close look at them on Saturday, of course.
I don't think
and Corey, I want to get your take on that. But they've been too inconsistent. They really have. They had to, have another crazy comeback against Atlanta last week. Corey with a K, you're going to the Lions game on Saturday, aren't you?
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
You got accredited, huh?
Yeah, they finally let me in. I don't know how that happened, but I'm happy about it. So
Are you on the
covering
sideline?
first game.
Like, where are you? Are you in the booth, or where are you?
Well, I'm kind of figure out right now from Solomon and Eamon where they actually be at because of the whole COVID pandemic stuff. So, but yeah, they let me in. I'll probably be there for the Vikings game as well.
Okay.
2 good guys, by the way, Solomon and Eamon with the Lions.
Amen.
You know those guys. Good cats. Shout out to those guys. Appreciate it. Much love. I told you, Corey, I haven't been there all year. This has been the strangest year in that regard because, whether it be
Usually in the booth, right?
Yeah, whether it be up in the booth, whether it be doing the television show on the field for years, with the Fox 2 crew. I've been there every year as a quote-unquote member of the working media forever. It's weird. I haven't been to 1 game this year. It's really strange.
Yeah, because I know we used to go to all the games. They have like every Sunday that's a home game, they'll have like something for the alumni. So we'll come back, we'll either just come enjoy the game, we'll have our own suite. They take care of us. So we'll come in for a suite, we might do an autograph signing, we might do a radio show with you guys. And I was kind of working my way up, you know, because I was doing the color analyst for a while. I think you were there, but my first game when I did it was the classic.
The bowl.
The bowl game.
Yeah.
It was the bowl game.
Yeah.
The Motor City Bowl. Or was it the Motor City Classic? It was Motor City
I forget
Classic.
what it was.
I think it was
the
Motor
names
City Classic.
changed so much.
Yeah, they changed it so much. But I did it with Frank. Yeah, I did it with Frank, and it was my first time doing it, and I loved it actually. It was a good time. It was good people, and but yeah, like I haven't been there in a while, so it is kind of weird. Like,
you came out, was it last year or the year before? You came out, it was a cold day you came out. You were on the pregame show with us because we do our show like right outside Pride
right
Plaza.
outside, yeah.
I remember that day because we were bundled something fierce that day. That was one of those cold days. And
it was good.
you know what? To me, that's fun. Like some people are like, I don't want to be out there. It's like, no, I mean, one of the coolest times is I think it was before the Saturday game against the Bears a few years ago. It started pouring snow, and I was like, this is great. Where else would I rather be? I'm bundled up. I got my wool cap on. I'm straight. You know what I mean?
You're good.
I loved it. It's like, come on, bring it, you know?
Yeah.
It's when that wind picks up, Ian.
But it's also the times where, you know, they have the game. So that whole street, they block it off.
Yeah.
And they call it
Pride Plaza.
Yeah, Pride Plaza. So they have Pride Plaza, they had different events. They have everything from like throwing the ball through a hole, like through a receiver, you know, like a mannequin or something like that. If you throw it through the hole, you win a prize. They have the cornhole. They have the barbecuing. It's like all these different things. The radio show, people come up for the radio. They have this guy on this big platform because he's that guy. And then every so often they'll let me come, you know, hop on the show with them every so often. And I'll go do a radio show with them before the game. And then we head inside. We go upstairs to the suites, and then you go to the booth, or you go down on the field, and then it's always a great time. And it's just been weird. I mean, this whole year just been, it sucked, man. This whole year sucked.
Unbelievable.
We
only got 10 more days. I mean, 2021's got to be better in every way, shape, and form. 2021's got to be better. I'm an optimist, man. 2021's going to be better.
And honestly, man, I saw a meme that says that if you still have your loved ones on Christmas Day, that's your Christmas present.
There you go. There you go.
Period.
Keep it in perspective, man. No, and I'm going to reiterate what you said. I think one of the things that Rod Wood has done is make you guys feel welcome, the alumni. Because I've talked to alumni that played back in the day, you know, in the 80s and into the 90s, who flat out said, they didn't make us feel welcome. For years, we didn't feel welcome here.
Yeah.
And now, you know what? They are taking care of them, and they're giving them the tip of the cap and saying, hey, you know what? You want to come, you just let us know. Yeah. We'll hook you up with tickets. We'll hook you up with a suite, whatever the case may be, and we're going to take care of you. And I think I told you, and I don't know if we've talked about it here, I've had so many guys, like, with the eyes wide open go, man, this is what they should have been doing for years. So props to Mr. Wood for doing that, because to me, that's what a franchise does if it wants to be taken seriously and if it wants to be considered classy. Because now you got all these guys who are everywhere around the nation that maybe didn't settle here that said, hey, that's my team. I still got love for my team.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's, we always talk about coaching. I think that's how you start a winning culture, where people want to be a part of this culture, because how we treat our former players, how we treat our fans, how we treat the people who work for us. And I think whoever comes to be a part of this organization, when they walk away, they have nothing but good things to say about this organization. So at the same time, it is a business. We're here to win. We're not here to make friends. But at the same time, you have to pay respect and pay your dues to the people who helped you to get to the next step in building this franchise.
Amen to that. Listen, we got lots of stuff to do. I told you, my wife chimed in. See, there it is. She just said, laugh out loud. She knows exactly what you were talking about, Joique. Thank you. Appreciate that very much. Listen, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I don't have a problem at all with what Josh Gaddis did yesterday. In case you missed it, Josh Gaddis had some comments of support for Ohio State. And you know what, Joique? To me, this is something that I have screamed for years around here. And quite frankly, it's pissed me off about people around here. And we'll come back and tell you about it right here. Woodward Sports, he's Joique Bell. I'm Sean Baligian. So glad you could join us. Woodward Sports Network.
Dude, what's that?
Hey man, it's the new Lefty's cheesesteak ad.
Lefty's cheesesteak ad?
Yeah, Lefty's cheesesteak ad.
So you're watching the ad, or this is the ad?
Kind of both, actually.
Stop watching this ad and come into Lefty's Cheesesteaks for the real thing today.
I'm Lindsay Broadwell. I know the beauty of Waterford just like you do. That's why I live here. I also know the data points and the inventory to help you buy and sell your home. If you want someone who knows what your home is truly worth, my name's Lindsay Broadwell, the Waterford realtor that actually lives in Waterford.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. On behalf of our entire team, we want to wish you and your family a happy holiday season. Our team is grateful that we were able to help so many Michiganders refinance their home and purchase a new home in 2020. Happy holidays from Hall Financial.
Welcome to Grow Green, the green standard for garden supplies here in Michigan over the past 10 years. We offer the best gardening and lawn care products and have an extremely knowledgeable staff to help you create your dream garden or make your yard the envy of the neighborhood. Shop the store located in Whitmore Lake or online at growgreenmi.com. Delivery and curbside pickup available. Grow Green, making Michigan greener one grower at a time.
We wake up every day with a choice. Keep going down the same unfulfilling path or start chasing the life we dream about. At Northwestern Tech, we want to make that choice easier by allowing you to keep working your job while training for a real career in heating and cooling. And our hands-on program is only 10.5 months. So getting in the field and building a career and actually waking up with a purpose could be a lot easier than you think. Northwestern Tech, the HVAC school that works.
Hey, what is up? Glad you could join us. It is a Tuesday afternoon. Everybody's kind of in that Christmas festive mode right now. For those of us, I mean, you like this? Joique and I both representing as well. Special shout out to Joey. I want to say this to the people that are supporting us. First of all, thank you. This is a new venture. We aren't going anywhere. I promise you. We're going to be here for a long, long time. But everybody out there that's watching this and participating, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you and love you. Support those that are supporting us, because this is something totally new. This is something that hasn't been done before, and I think that's what has us so excited about it. But at the same time, if you can, anybody that's supporting us, if you can use their product, if you can go out and support them, we would be very, very appreciative.
Period.
This is fun, dude. I enjoy this. This is something
like
new,
what
and
you
to
said,
have all the
though.
people
This has never been
participating.
done. It's never been done.
No, it's great.
It's the first to do it. You heard it here first.
You got it.
The first to do it.
And you guys are the best. I mean, every day to have conversations with you guys. I always like to get caught up. I want to get into some of Josh Gaddis' comments and a problem that I have in this part of the country, at least with the Big Ten. We don't see it in the GLIAC.
We don't see it in the GLIAC.
And I'll give you an example as such when we come back. Scott wanted to say about RG3. RG3, great runner, never been a good passer. Do you remember how phenomenal he was before the knee injury, though? I mean, he was just something fun to watch. Kenny said Washington ruined RG3 for playing him injured, then drafting Cousins. Grammy Whammy, shout out to you. And she always gives some love to Corey with a K.
Corey with a K.
Dennis said if the Steelers are not careful, they will end up as a wild card after starting 11-0. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if the Browns end up winning that division from a team that started 11-0? I mean, how insane would that be?
It's crazy.
Jeez, oh, Pete. Steelers are struggling, have some significant injuries. That's Steve. Steve, I think you're still in Pennsylvania, aren't you? I know Steve.
Yeah, I think E. Brown is still out. He went out during the game, back injury. We don't. I don't know what the report is on him. I don't know if he's coming back or not. Take a look for me on that one. I didn't see anything this morning on him.
Get fit with C. Clark. Good job, Joique. You sound like you know what you're talking about. Benton Harbor legend. Hashtag BH legend.
You know what? Are you on YouTube or are you on Facebook? Because
Facebook.
I'm not seeing any of these comments.
Okay, Facebook. Yeah.
Okay.
Jenna said, so awesome for you, Corey. Heck yeah. In case you missed it, Corey with a K. Going to be down at Ford Field covering the Lions on Saturday. Kenny said, does anyone know if that game is only on the NFL Network or is it going to be on Fox locally as well? I think it's on Fox. Don't quote me on that. Dan Miller, if you're watching, maybe you can let me know. But I think it's on Fox. Dan will be busy, of course, on the radio, but I think it's a Fox game, isn't it?
Most of them are, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Is it
check on that, Corey?
Yeah, and also on Eric Ebron, there's no word yet on him.
No word yet. So there's still no status on Eric Ebron. So that was a huge hit to the Steelers too as well. They didn't have him as well at the tight end position. So
Scott said, according to the NFL website, it's only on the network. I don't know if that applies to the hometown though. I don't really. I'm telling you right now. I don't know the answer to that. He added, and this is something for you, Joique. Wait, the Lions take care of former players. According to Calvin, the team does nothing for former players. It was like that for years. It was. I think the Lions know that themselves, and Rod Wood has kind of changed that. I think you and I have both made our feelings know about the Calvin thing. Make it right.
All right.
Make it right.
Make it right.
Like it's Calvin Johnson.
One phone call. Bring him in.
Yep.
You know what though, and with the change in leadership on the team level, hopefully they can get a man to come in and make some. You know what? I want to get Calvin's point of view on it. I want to get him on the you know, I'm going to have a personal conversation with him.
Love to talk to Calvin.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to Calvin about that.
Sean said, what's with the Islanders Christmas sweaters? That's great.
You know, we got these sweaters from Joey. Sean. We got these sweaters from Joey. Go to uglysweaters.com. We're supporting a friend. I was forced to wear it because it was in my contract. And so, was it in my contract, Kennedy? Oh, it wasn't? Oh, okay, I'm doing it because I support my friend Joey. That's what it is. and Joey, so Joey always gets on me because sometimes I'll come in from other business meetings. I come here, but I'm always on time. You know, and so it felt good to see that he came in late the other day. That's because I've never been late. I don't show up late. You know, I'm very prompt. So it was good to see Joey show up late, and now I don't want to hear anything else from you, Joey. I'm gonna be coming in 15 minutes before the air. You get here on time and get a better alarm clock.
I'm the guy that I usually take off right away because I have other things going on. As you said, I mean, there's business.
It's business.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say.
When the show's over, I'm here for like another hour and a half, right? I'm here, and I'm kind of going through other things, prepping for the next day. And this guy is always here about an hour early, though. He's always here about an hour early.
About 10.
10 minutes.
No, but 10 o'clock.
About 10 o'clock.
We go on at 11. I'm here by 10.
So he's always here about an hour early, right? I'll leave my house at 10. It's about a 25-minute drive. So this guy here is a professional. I love working with him. He's so easy. He's a talent here.
I'm also the guy who's gone by about 107 because it's well, you know what I mean. Honestly,
103.
Yeah, probably closer to 103. I'm gonna agree. No, but you know what? I mean, today I actually have some business here, but I usually have something else going on.
Always.
You know, I have some other logs in the fire.
Yeah.
So I got, like, tomorrow, for example, I'm leaving probably at 12:59, to be honest with you, because I got a race home. I got a radio show tomorrow to do, like, basically right afterwards and everything. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, dude, you're here. That's it. Yeah, don't be late. Don't be late.
He's an Energizer bunny. Energizer.
Hey, real quick, guys, that game on Saturday has been flexed to NBC.
Oh, NBC.
NBC?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Tony said, and I'm going to agree with this 100%. The cheesesteak from Lefties is the real deal. I was in town over the weekend. Man, that was great. They need one of those in Grand Rapids. Lefties is phenomenal. It is a real cheesesteak. And those little bell peppers that you put on there, it's crack. It is, I mean, it is, they got those little, like red peppers, cherry peppers, or whatever it's called.
Is that Lefties?
Lefties.
Where's that?
You know what? There are a few in the area. If I'm rolling down here, I'm gonna pop into a Lefties one day, and maybe show up at 10:10 or something and pick up a couple of Lefties.
What type of restaurant is that? Is it like barbecue, pizza,
They got everything
food?
there, but they're known for their cheesesteaks. Their cheesesteaks are those. They're called. I call them bell peppers, cherry peppers. Those little small cherry peppers.
Is that like a Tubby's sort of kind?
Yeah, they make the hot hoagie for you. Oh my gosh, I love cheesesteak. Love cheesesteak. Let me get some other comments before we get into some college football things. Does that mean we see either Sean or Joique in a Santa outfit to complete the Islander sweater? Scott said, I'm with Sean. My mom would tell you if I'm 10 minutes early, I'm running late. Jenna said, aw snap, I wanted to come in tomorrow. I'm out of work early. Cash in my IOU. Jenna, you can come in. We'll be here. I just have to leave at 1. Like, literally, just as soon as the show's over, all you're going to see is my elbow going the other way because I got work to do tomorrow. So
always working.
Yeah.
Always working.
Got to do it, man. Got to do it.
With the holiday spirit.
Got to do it. Dave, go ahead. No, Dave said visited Lefties in Dearborn, fantastic. There's one in Livonia on the mean streets of Livonia that even though I moved out of I escaped the mean streets and I live in Northville now, I make the drive to the one in Livonia. It is just, it's a real deal. If you like cheesesteaks, it's a real deal. So we'll get you your love there. All right, Joique, go ahead.
So let's harp on the SEC and the playoffs and how the GLIAC is.
Yeah.
And so this is one thing about the GLIAC. We hate our rivals. We hate them. Like we respect their culture, but we hate them. We don't like them. We don't like each other. Grand Valley, Saginaw Valley, Ferris State.
All of it.
But we don't, Ashland's not in our conference anymore, but we didn't like Ashland either. And so we have these rivals. But I can say that whenever Grand Valley went on to the playoffs and they made it to the national championship game, I would tell you this. I'm rooting for Grand Valley. Why am I rooting for Grand Valley? Because they represent the GLIAC, that's why. I want the GLIAC to be the toughest conference in Division II. And so I want Ferris State, I want Ashland, I wanted Ashland, and I want Saginaw Valley, I wanted Grand Valley, that when they had the opportunity to go to the next level to compete for a championship, I wanted them to win it and bring it back, because that's ultimately going to be more competition in our conference, and it's going to bring more notoriety to our conference. And so that's why. And every year I play, we'll always have about 3 or 4 teams ranked in the top 25 in the country. And so I loved it. Yeah, I mean, even us.
You know what's interesting, Joique? By the way, there's a Lefties. Just Tony said there's one at 12 in Woodward. Then
Dearborn.
Martez said it's at 13 in Woodward. I'll pop in. One day I'll buy a bunch of hoagies and you guys try them. If you like cheesesteaks, well, you can. But if you like cheesesteaks, trust me. Joique, when the Warriors made their run in 2011, I was doing my radio show back here, live from Florence, because it's my radio station didn't take too kindly to, oh, by the way, guys, I'm going to be gone for the next 4 days. Wayne State's playing in this national championship game, and I got the game to broadcast. So we got the best of both worlds. I was able to do my show live from Florence. That's where the national championship used to be played. It was basically a glorified high school stadium. There's no other way to say it. But I got to do my radio show from Florence, Alabama, and be down there with the team for the championship game and everything. And it blew my mind because exactly what you just explained happened. So I'm doing the show, and it's the Friday before the game. They played on Saturday morning. It was like a 10 a.m. game. You came down. I remember that plain as day. Cool enough to come on the pregame show as well. But it's Friday afternoon, and people were calling in from everywhere. Hey, what's up? Bulldog in the house. Go Warriors. Hey, what's up? Grand Valley Laker. Class of, 2000. Go Warriors. Hey, what's up? Northern Michigan chiming in. It was funny. I heard from one of my good buddies who played hockey up at Northern Michigan, go Warriors. You know what I mean? So this is one of those things. This is one of those things where point blank, it blew my mind that everybody was doing that, because you don't get that in Big Ten country.
You don't get that.
You don't. Everybody basically puts up the middle finger to everybody else in Big Ten country. And you know what else it reminds me of? What does the SEC do at bowl season? Doesn't matter who's playing. Alabama's playing in the college football. Alabama's playing in the college football playoff. Auburn's playing in the college football playoff. Georgia's in the Outback. Well, whatever the case may be. But when the game is coming to an end, what do they do in the stands? SEC. SEC. An SEC chant starts constantly at those games. They're all loving each other because it makes the conference look better. Big Ten country? That is completely verboten. There is no way in hell that the average Michigan State fan is ever going to root for Michigan. It's just not going to happen. conversely, there's no way in hell that the average Michigan fan is ever going to root for Ohio State or Michigan State.
Yeah.
It just up here, we just don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't we understand it makes the conference look better?
It does.
It just does.
It does. It's just how it is up here.
Look at Joey.
So I brought Joy up here, everybody. Joy gets on me all the time about coming in, 5-10 minutes before the show. And so what happened?
Damn, look at Fish over there. Look how excited Fish is.
Fish here. Look at Fish.
Give him a beating.
Yeah, give him a beating.
Give him a beating.
Explain to our listeners right now and our watchers right now, what exactly happened when you came in? About how late were you?
So what had happened was.
What had happened? You know.
I was about 40. Here's the thing that's messed up too, is we started with a little show meeting at 7 a.m. So I was technically an hour and 40 late.
You know what it is though? And Chrissy isn't even here. So Sticks was here by himself with Corey. Corey's cool, but he's not, I'm joking, Corey. Corey with a K. Go follow Corey with a K.
Corey with a K. Corey E. Woods.
Corey E. Woods with a K.
What I love is Corey's obviously new to being on the mic and being all the spotlight on him. The way he handled it yesterday was unbelievable. So what nobody does know off camera is Corey actually paid me to not come in. So he wanted me to show up a little bit late so he could get that shine.
Yeah, so you get that.
Listen, if there's no team player better than this right here, I don't know what you're thinking.
Yeah. And so I just
he's a team player with these. Joey picked these up. Did we mention that?
These up.
Yeah. UglyChristmasSweater.com. It's a locally owned company that made these too.
Right. Support our local companies, man.
Yeah.
They support
Here.
us. Support them.
Here.
They need it, man. They need it now more. They need it more now.
They need it now more than ever.
Yeah.
For sure. And
Go get your cheesesteak as well, right? But the cheesesteak's been the buzzword this morning.
Was that created here?
I think it wasn't created here, but I know that there's a big franchise in here.
Okay.
Forget exactly where it is.
If you like cheesesteaks, I'm telling you, those cherry peppers, man.
They got the
so
vegan.
good, so good.
There's something about Sean Baligian that he's so good at selling the food. He makes me want to eat it so bad.
Seriously, I'm gonna pick some up one morning. I'm just gonna bring a bunch of them in, and
he's a man.
You're not gonna be able to eat another steak sandwich again. You're not.
Sean is a food connoisseur. Period.
Are you?
Yeah.
I can tell. I can tell.
Sure. We come in here and talk food.
Wait till we start barbecuing.
That's what I'm saying.
We're gonna
He's
get
been
your
talking
barbecue
about this barbecue for a long time.
After the first of the year.
Explain to me, where's the bar? Are you guys barbecuing up here?
We're gonna do a lot of times. What we're gonna do is like we were talking about it yesterday because I was with the boys. We're gonna smoke it the day before, and then we're gonna bring in the finished product like the next day and everything. Or my boys are gonna be there and bring it down here because they're gonna come in after the show, and we're gonna tell you how we did it. But like the real barbecue, which is something we're gonna be planning later, there'll be more news. That's when me and my boys get together and stand by the smoker for 16 hours. Ooh. Like that's the real barbecue. Where you guys can come anytime you want, but we stand by the smoker. We're a bunch of old men stand by the smoker for 16 hours.
You know the name of the show should be?
What's that?
I just saw it. They call it The Smoke Show.
Yeah?
The Smoke Show.
I've heard that someplace before, right?
This guy I've heard that.
I've heard that.
You know what? Somebody just said it on the Facebook.
I've heard that someplace before.
Chrissy said food.
Yeah, that's my buddy Mike. That's my buddy Mike. He's one of the guys that we do this with.
Show.
So
okay.
We've been doing things like this, like Mike and I, for about 30 years. Like we just get together and we cook things, we taste test things. The chef that is coming in, Dave.
Could you barbecue?
Oh no, not on their level. But
you could.
Mike is
I need experience.
Mike is the most creative of all of us by far. Just the things that his brain thinks of, and I know he's going to deny it. He's creative. Me, I'm the guy. I got the low and slow patience. You know, that's me. You give me my smoker. You give me 16 hours. I'm going to hit it for you. I promise.
Every time.
I'm going to hit it for you. I'm going to get your ribs just right. And I'm the type of guy, now he's got me rolling. Now you got me going.
Listen, I need you to make some ribs for my family when they come up.
Okay, but here's the thing. I'm going to warn you ahead of time. I'm not a fall off the bone rib guy, okay? If I want fall off the bone ribs, I'll just make myself a damn Boston butt. I'll just make pulled pork. I want a little work with my ribs. So when I make ribs, I don't like to make them fall off the bone. If you want that pork, I'll just make you pulled pork because that's the same damn thing. You know what I mean? I like you get it to that point where it's still hanging, but it's not hanging by much. To me, that's the best rib. I don't know if you like ribs, but
I love ribs.
That's the best rib.
But that's a good point. I mean, it is basically just brisket.
It is.
At that point.
Yeah, I mean, I'll make you pulled pork.
Okay.
If you want, I'll put a Boston butt on. I'll get it done for you. It might take 17 hours, but I'll
I've
get
only
it
had
done for
brisket
you.
like once or twice.
Brisket?
Oh, it's
my
good.
favorite.
Once or twice.
That's my,
Man,
that's my favorite.
You can't even eat meat.
That's my favorite.
I mean, I'm living vicariously through shining you.
Well, we did.
We'll eat a lot of it.
The
Don't
one
worry.
thing that we did a couple times this summer that I went nuts over, the beef rib on the smoker is unbelievable. If you like beef ribs, you know what? It tastes like a high class pot roast. You know, with some seasoning on it.
Game day. I'm getting a grill. Bring your shine with me.
Let me know.
We're gonna pop the grill open. We're gonna go tailgate.
The Baligian and Bell tailgate party.
Let me know.
We'll
Let's
have a
go.
Baligian and Bell tailgate. Hold up, but we have to do it when the season's in and the fans are going, and when everything gets back to normal. We'll do it. We'll have like a Bell Baligian tailgate, and what we'll do is, I'll have my grill. I'll bring out I'll bring my grill. You bring your F-150.
Okay.
Throw in the back of his truck. Get it open. Have the cameras down there. Get the fans. Have a couple games, couple prizes. Let you throw some stuff on the grill, and then we sit back and we
could call it Mita or something like that, right?
Wow, Mita. That's a good name. Mita.
Yeah, meet up.
I love that.
Meet up.
We could
Eat up.
I have a song. No, it's funny because Ambi said we need brisket, Sean. That's my favorite.
That's my sister.
Yeah.
Right. So
And
she's
Andy,
telling
you got it. You tell me when. What kind do you want? I'm doing a Gold Prime Christmas Eve, which is top end. I also have a Wagyu, which is just unbelievable.
Pulling off the good stuff.
Yeah. So it's
okay.
That's the way it should
his
go.
stuff is okay. Like I tasted some of his barbecue before. It's
I'm gonna make
mediocre.
I'm gonna make him eat those
mediocre.
words. I'm gonna
It's
make
mediocre.
him eat. I'm gonna make him eat
mediocre.
those words.
Hey, could you make any avocado toast for my friend Joique Bell over here?
Yeah.
What do you eat? What do you eat? Really? What do
My
you
dad
eat?
is a barbecue. So my dad is a barbecuer in our family, right?
Yeah.
And so we got him like this grill when it has like the charcoal in its gas. And so he has got it down to a science of where when we got him this grill, he was barbecuing every single day in the wintertime. Like snowing, below zero, he's out there barbecuing every day. I'm like, Dad. He said, well, we're gonna have some barbecue today. I said, we got leftovers. He said, no, we need some more. Every single day.
That man knows what he's doing.
Knows what he's doing. So he has some of the best. So my mom would season the ribs, and then my dad would barbecue them. And it's like it's kind of like Sean, like that slow patience. So he'll cook them on
It's 19 hours.
He'll cook them on a grill for a certain amount of time to take them out, and then he'll throw them in the oven for a couple more hours. And then it's not the fall off the bone, but it's like that, you bite it off and it's just.
That's what you want. That's what that man knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He knows.
Man, this guy, he made me
You know what we did? No,
hungry now.
Joey, you know what we did? The biggest thing I've ever done, I did a 23-pound Wagyu brisket. This was back in October. And I did a 23-pound Wagyu brisket that is, it looks like a map, right? And it took 20 hours.
I don't got that.
But I'll
patience
tell you
in me.
what, when you see it, when you got that meat thermometer in there, and that you see 202 come up,
the boner just
the
kicks
best,
on in.
It is. That's exactly what it is. It's the best feeling on
It's a
earth. It's
boner?
like you
You get that boner?
You get the boner.
you have worn me down for 20 hours, but in the end,
Wore you
I
down.
beat you. I got you because your temperature's at 202. I can wrap you up, and then I'm going to separate that point, and we're going to have some eating.
You're
So
like-
it was. Oh, it's
like
just yeah, right? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome, man. I love you too.
Thanks, Joey.
Enjoy.
Appreciate
Get
it.
out
Make
here.
sure you can.
Be on
You
time.
check. I have to give a special shout out. My buddy,
so happy.
old friend of mine, Diane, Tom Kowalski's fiance said, "Merry Christmas. Wishing you guys a blessed 2021. Hope the memories of Big T, the Yeti, Santa." Visit stays with you always. Diane, you know this. And thank you for the kind words. All the best to you. Tom Kowalski, of course, Michigan Sports Hall of Fame, the NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame, came over my house in 2010 on Christmas Eve and brought toys for my kids unannounced. And when you're 6'8" and a mountain of a man like Tom was, you're not exactly sneaking up to somebody's house. I saw him walking across my yard, and it was like the Yeti. Like literally, and that's what I called him. I go, what are you, the Yeti? He's walking across my yard. But Diane, I've said this before to you. I know you know this, but to everybody else out there, honest to God, since Tom passed in 2011, every Christmas Eve I go stand on my porch with a Bud Light and salute him because of that night. Honestly, that's my thing. Every Christmas Eve around 6 o'clock, I grab myself a Bud Light, I salute my pal, and take a big swig, and then I'm ready to finish dinner for everybody.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. So
that's pretty cool.
All the best to you, Diane, for sure. Gosh, we got so many food comments coming in.
Oh man, we don't have like a day that's dedicated to food. You know, we gotta figure it out. Like
Lynn said, Sean, video the cooking at home and then share part of the video with us. I actually have a YouTube channel. If you follow me on Twitter, we do a lot of that. Just something my buddies and I started during the
pandemic.
Yeah, the pandemic. I mean, I'm sure we can all relate to this, right? In a varying, we all went through varying degrees of depression, right? I mean, look, can we be honest? Are we allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, we are.
It sucked. You know, I feel sorry for people like Kennedy and Fish who should be out hanging with their friends and they're stuck in their dorm room or stuck at home, and so many little things that people missed out on, right? Well, even for we adults, it sucked.
Yeah.
And so my buddies and I, right after it started, they said, why don't we barbecue? Let's just do something, and we'll pick something different every week. And it just started as a whim, and it took off. I always said, Joique, if 3 people watch it, that's 3 more people than I expected to watch it. Because for us, it was just about doing fun things and having some camaraderie in a time that we all needed it. Let's be honest.
We do. You have some people that are people. And for me, like I'm a people person, and I have to be around like my family. I have to be around my family. I have to be around. I can't sit in the house all day. Yeah, I'm a homebody though, which is weird. I love staying at home, but I also love to go out. I'm like an introvert and an extrovert. Like I like to be around people, but I have to go home to recharge and be by myself and recharge, and then eventually I'll go back out. But for me,
that sounds familiar.
It sounds familiar.
The exact same way.
The exact same way.
People think I'm on all the time. I need to recharge.
You have to recharge.
I do.
Right, and so for me, I go home, I recharge, and then I'm back around. Like even like going back home and being my family, I have to recharge with my family sometimes. I have to get away and then come back. Like, all right, grandma, grandpa, I love you guys. I'll be back. Mom, dad, I love you guys. I'll be back. Hey, sis, I'll be over in a little bit. Even my sister here, like, all right, sis, I'll be back in a little bit. And go recharge and come back, and like I feel great. But it's like that mental. I need that mental capacity to be able to step away and then come back, recharge. It's better for everybody.
Absolutely.
So mental health is it's real.
Oh, 1,000%.
Mental health is real. So.
Okay, and you know what? It's funny. We talked about it last week, and every time it comes up, I'll bring it up. I hope we're as a society are past the point where there's a stigma about it. Like it's okay to talk about it, like because a lot of people can relate.
Yeah.
I can relate. I have no problem saying it.
And I think, but why is it a stigma on it though in the first place?
I don't get it. I don't
why is there a stigma on it?
Well, men were too stubborn and we're too macho. And every woman out there is cheering me right now. But it's great. I think sometimes for us to admit our weaknesses.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. So. I think for the longest time with a man, you couldn't say things like that.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm hurting. Well, you can't show you're hurting. I'm a man.
Yeah. It's funny, like when you're on the football field, you can't show.
Yeah.
You can't show pain, you can't show weakness. But like in everyday life, everyday things that's going on, life is coming at you in all different directions. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say, listen, I need a break. I need a break for a second. Give me an hour or 2. Give me an hour just to kind of decompress, and I'll be fine. Just give me some time. And it's also good to have that person you can talk to get things off your chest, to vent to. Because sometimes people just want to hear you just want to know that you're being heard, right? And so for the most part, it's always good to have someone to talk to. And sometimes you don't even need advice; you just want to talk, And so I have friends like that you guys want to talk. I'm here. I'm here to listen. If I need to talk, they're here to listen. So it's good to have friends like that.
Amen to that. No doubt about it. Very quickly, Sean said, what is the crazy... Sean, who spells his name correctly, by the way. Sean said, what is the craziest thing you ever smoked? For me, it was a boar. Damn good. We did a full pig last October. I never did the pig. We did and when I say a full pig, okay, that's not an exaggeration. It was a full pig. I had never had a true pig roast. We did a full pig. It was unbelievable. And what people don't understand is, there are so many different parts of the pig, like the cheek.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
It's gold. It's I don't know how to explain it. It's gold. It is. It's like, stay away from the cheek. Just stay away from the cheek. That's mine. Really, it's so you got me in regards to, you did a boar. Whew, major respect. But doing a full pig was good. It was good. Something for everybody with a full pig.
Good.
Something for everybody.
So when you do that, you gut it yourself, or you go get it? Yeah, somebody else.
The best way to put this to you, and I know some people are going to take offense at this, but I'm just going to tell you how it was. On a Monday, we named him Albert. Little Albert was running around in a field enjoying life. On a Tuesday, we were cleaning him out, and prepping him, with the apple and stuffing it full of some vegetables and everything. It adds flavor. Yeah, and that's, you can stuff it with a lot of different things, and it adds flavor, no doubt about it. And you smoke the apple, and you can cut that apple up, and pretty good. The apple slices are pretty good. So it's see, I'm getting all excited. I better come down now.
Poor pig.
Got to come down now.
Really? Kenny said, "Why?" Left my A off.
Darren said, "Does anyone do fish on Christmas Eve?" No.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm. I've never done fish on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. No.
No.
And I like fish.
Yeah.
I like fish.
That's more of like a Sunday dinner.
Yeah.
Like a Sunday dinner.
Yeah.
You might have some fried catfish or some.
Yeah.
Some salmon.
I could go a good smoked salmon.
Yeah, you
sure.
can smoke a salmon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, Corey with K?
Just want to touch on this real quick. The Lions had a press conference scheduled earlier today. They pushed it back because they just announced that a couple of people within the organization tested positive for COVID. Bevel's going to be speaking at 1:30, so we'll find out if that has any kind of ramifications or anything moving forward for Saturday's game.
Was it just members of the organization or
They haven't actually said yet. So
yeah, they left it open-ended. Yeah, that's a good media trick. They leave it open-ended, so make you think, make you guess. And so I guess we have to wait till 1:30 when the show's over. Then we could talk about it tomorrow. By that time, it's old news.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll be let's keep an eye on that.
Kennedy, man, you have any connects over there, Kennedy? Get us some information. Okay. Thanks, producer.
Italian thing with the apple is what a lot of people are saying. Steve said he does tamales on Christmas Eve. Interesting.
You know what? Sometimes you might do something different. Like my mom came out and say, listen, I didn't want to, like one year, not this year, but one year, she said, listen, I want to do something different. So she did like a seafood boil. Yeah, and so she did that one year. And so I remember for my aunt's birthday, they had this long, I'm not lying to you, it was from window to window, this long table, and it had like, we had these things in the middle that kind of, you can put the food inside and it didn't fall off the side. And so we had the whole thing lined up with a bunch of seafood, crab legs, lobsters, shrimp, mussels. We had everything in there. And the family just, lined up and we walked down, we grab whatever you want.
That's damn good, yeah.
Right, and it was delicious, man. It was fun. And so I don't think we're gonna have something that extravagant for Christmas, but that was something different that we did. It was cool.
Christmas Eve, I've always changed things up. I love the same two appetizers are always there, and the one appetizers from when I was a kid, I loved pigs in a blanket. The little smoky links that you wrap in dough and you put them in the oven.
Yeah.
That just reminds me of my childhood. So anybody that comes over to my house knows they're getting that, because that's one. It's like, all right, that's for me. That's little Sean. That's grown-up Sean telling little Sean, I remember, bro. I remember.
That's crazy. We never had appetizers. You know what we did? We would sneak in the kitchen while they were cooking, and then somebody would distract them, and the other person would sneak food, and then vice versa, right? We'll do that. We never had appetizers. We just had to wait till the food was done, say the family prayer, and then we eat. Corey with a K, what about you?
Our family just links up and just grabs the food. They know no real traditions our way. I don't know what. No real traditions our way when it comes to that kind of stuff. We just grab the food and go.
Grab the food and go.
You know what it is? Like, honestly, it is, and it's funny because I just, like, literally, I could show you my phone. What time is it on Christmas Eve? I just texted 6:30. Like literally that conversation.
Right.
6:30, people get there. I have pigs in a blanket. I have some shrimp. The rest of my food is done, but I don't bring it out for a few minutes yet. Give it a little rest period and everything. But this year, normally I do a beef tenderloin. This year I'm going with brisket because I got a prime brisket. I'm doing a Cajun turkey, which I think I explained to you. I inject it with that Creole butter and rub some Cajun spices on there, and a smoked ham. So that's what I'm rolling with this year.
So who's cooking the sides? Because that's the most important part.
My wife, she takes care of that. Yeah,
what sides are you having? What do you have to have every Christmas?
Her cheesy potatoes are just money. I don't know what I think she sprinkles crack on it. I really do. I think that's what the secret ingredient of her cheesy potatoes is. She sprinkles crack. Because it's like, me want more. I mean, really, they're that good. But you gotta stuff the bird. With some dressing.
You killing me with this Cookie Monster voice. Oh, I want more.
Me need more crack. Crack good. No, with the turkey, I do 2 different varieties of dressing. With the turkey, because it's all Cajun, that's where I kick that dressing up a little bit. I go to Flavor Town, to Guy Fieri. I go to Flavor Town and I fire some different stuff in there. And then I also do like the traditional dressing because I get it. Some people don't like the added spices with it and everything. Usually some kind of salad. I think we're doing Caesar salad this year. And you can't do a Caesar salad without anchovies. I'm telling you, it's not a Caesar salad. Now, see, you just cringe, but a real Caesar salad has anchovies.
I know they do, but
Go with it. Go with it.
I never had anchovy. I just can't picture myself eating it. I can't. Even when we had it in my house and it was the only thing we had, I would not touch them. I would starve to death if I ate anchovies. I just can't do it. That's like eating crawfish. I can't eat crawfish. I tried to one time and I never did it again. I just felt like it's just looking at me. I mean, it's a southern thing.
You want it? Okay, we're all over the map, but we may as well keep bologna. I can't do it.
What?
I'm telling you, I see bologna and it's like.
I smashed bologna growing up. I tell you that.
Turns my stomach.
I would put that thing on the stove. I'll put it on the stove, and it will always get like that bubble in the middle, and so you have to slice it down the middle to get that air. It's like an air pocket.
If you can see Kennedy's face right now, Kennedy's face is screaming exactly the way I feel right now.
I don't know what y'all missing.
Flip it around, grill the other side, get it just dark enough where it's like almost burnt, but not burnt. And you put the cheese on top, let it melt on there, have a sandwich.
A couple other, you know what? I know some people of Polish heritage that do this. Jenna said fresh kielbasa and sauerkraut from the Polish market. Usually what we include this year, switching it up, fillets. I know a few Polish families with Polish heritage that went the full-on different kind of kielbasas and things like that. And it was, to be honest with you, it was, get your pierogi in there, your cheese and potato pierogi or pierogi, as it were. That's a damn good meal.
Hey, here we go. The people are chiming in now. We got the stove. We have the 100% fried bologna sandwich with it, with the government cheese. You can't do it?
No. I don't know what it is about bologna. I just never been a fan. Never been a fan.
Have you had it before?
Yeah, I had a bad experience with it when I was little. So you know how that.
And so that's how. Okay, that's what happened.
It's almost like when there's an alcohol. Everybody, well, other than you, there's that alcohol that maybe you had a bad experience with when you were a kid. And Corey with a K is raising his hand. For me, I had a bad experience with SoCo when I was 18 years old. I cannot, to this day, I can't smell SoCo. Can't even smell it. Like, honestly, I wish I could explain it to you. My chest catches fire. Like it's almost like I relived that memory from 30 years ago.
You know what? I think it's living in your head rent free now.
Oh, 1,000%. SoCo owns me. Owns me.
Owns you. So, my go-to food when I was growing up, and it's so simple. I love cream of wheat. But when my godmother introduced me to Monto Meal, I ate it all the time. All the time. I ate it so much that when I did my food sensitivity test, I built up an intolerance to it because I was eating it so often. I had to stop eating it for a while. I did.
I was a grilled cheese guy. I could eat 15 grilled cheeses.
So
I
my
love grilled
grandmother,
cheeses. Love them.
When I came home from school, my grandmother would make these grilled cheese sandwiches. Try this. She'll grill it. And
Is this Grammy Whammy?
This Grammy Whammy.
Right.
And it was weird. I was like, no, I don't. And then I tried it. Oh, it's the best thing I ever.
What is it?
So she'll make the grilled cheese, get both sides nice golden brown, take it off, and then on one side, on the outside, on one side, she will take the jam and then put the jam on top of it. And then cut it down the middle and you eat it with the jam on top.
Really?
Try it.
I'm going to try that.
Try it.
No, seriously, I'm going to try it.
Try it. She's coming here today. She's going to make me one today. She's making me one today. You hear me, Grammy Whammy? You're going to make me one of those today. I'm going to ask you nicely.
All right, we got to get to some of Josh Gaddis comments because before we said, you got the GLIAC. There's like one love in the GLIAC. You got the SEC. There's one love in the SEC. In the Big 11, it's screw you, right? And people get mad when other people stick up for it. And my mentality has always been, especially when you're talking about the Big Ten, newsflash, the Big Ten isn't in the argument for the best conference anymore. It isn't. I love it. I do. I've said this for years. I love the Big Ten. But you are lying to you and to everybody else if you try to make the argument that the Big Ten is something special. It hasn't been something special for a long time. And now, let's be honest, from a football standpoint, it's been Ohio State and everybody else for a while now, right? So we need to improve our perception. And if you're one of those guys that you want to say, well, it's only perception. Perception matters so much in college football, man. It just does.
It does.
Don't tell me that it doesn't, especially when you're dealing with the parameters that D1 is dealing with. But, and I don't know if you have a graphic for this, Corey. In case you missed it, Josh Gaddis showed some support to Ohio State and the Big in general, and then the tweet was deleted. Here you go, in case you missed it. Corey, get that graphic up for everybody. So, let me get this straight. What's wrong with what he said? Tell me what's wrong with what he said. If you're a Big Ten fan, okay, tell me what is wrong with what he said. And in case you can't see it, regardless of polls, a 6-0 Big team deserves in. No conference has had to endure more. 1, the emotional roller coaster if a season would happen. 2, no fans all year. Environment. 3, 21-day protocol to miss games / add in injuries, contact tracing. 4, inability to reschedule. So you know what happens? You have a bunch of Michigan fans crying about this. What did he say that was false? What did he say that was false?
Nothing.
Nothing. And you know what? Quite frankly, I would hope that Ohio State or Michigan State or Iowa or Indiana or Northwestern would do the exact same thing. And it's almost like, to me, the Big Ten realizes that it's inferior, so it acts inferior. Like, honestly, if I could psychoanalyze the situation, that's my take on it. To me, it's like, don't you understand this makes everybody else look good? Like, there was that a couple of years in a row. You had Ohio State winning a national championship. You had Michigan State going to multiple bowl games and knocking off top 5 opponents. That makes the conference look better. That doesn't just improve the perception of Michigan State or Ohio State. It makes the conference look better.
It does.
And let's face it, this conference needs all the help it can get, Joique.
All of it. All of it.
I don't get it. What's the problem with him saying that?
I think it falls back to what we talked about earlier.
Inferiority complex?
Yes. Yeah. When, the GLIAC, we support each other, and then you have people step out and try to support, and then like stuff like this happen, or you state your views and it becomes very political. Like, it's a political business, so you have to be very careful what you say. I don't understand. I think you harped on it earlier when you said that when we talked about having a playoff in the D1, and they said it's not fair to the kids. And then we go back to, well, D2 have playoffs. So are you saying that D1 kids are better or more important than the D2 kids?
Yep.
Than the D2 athlete. All right. So,
student athlete.
The student athlete. So are you saying that D1 student athletes are more important than the D2 student athletes?
You got it.
It's not. And when it comes down to me, I think it's about that more so than the student athlete. I think the student athlete is just a scapegoat they use to prevent the playoffs from happening. I think that's the best way to do it.
1,000%. I agree. And you know what? Until we can have a true playoff where you can settle it on the field and tell people definitively, because his team beat my team, that team's better, we're stuck in this telling people what we think is going to happen. And it drives me out of my mind.
Let's settle it on the field. You know, when you get on that football field, there's no more, oh, I'm Michigan, or I'm Ohio State, or I'm MSU, or I'm Grand Valley, or I'm Wayne State. When you're on that football field, all that goes out the door. Is either put up or shut up.
Yep.
It's put up or shut up. And, you know, last night, every analyst had who winning? The Steelers.
You got it.
And who won? You either put up or you shut up. When you're out there on that football field, none of that stuff matters. We don't care about what I say. We don't care about what Sean says. We don't care what Randy Moss says. We don't care about none of that. Like, when we're on that football field, it's you versus me. You got to show me. Period.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll talk about what the D2 does, because if you don't know what the format is, I'm 1,000% in the belief that it would work and work big in the D1 for some of the reasons that Joique just brought up. We've got more of your comments as well. Don't you go anywhere. But as I said, we're going to take a quick break here. Don't forget to support those who are supporting us. This is a cool venture. We aren't going anywhere, and we appreciate those of you that not only are watching it on the ground floor, but certainly those that are sponsoring this show as well. Support those who are supporting us. We'll be back with you in a minute.
Dude, what's that?
Hey man, it's the new Lefty's cheesesteak ad.
Lefty's cheesesteak ad?
Yeah, Lefty's cheesesteak ad.
So you're watching the ad, or this is the ad?
Kind of both, actually.
Stop watching this ad and come into Lefty's Cheesesteaks for the real thing today.
I'm Lindsay Broadwell. I know the beauty of Waterford just like you do. That's why I live here. I also know the data points and the inventory to help you buy and sell your home. If you want someone who knows what your home is truly worth, my name's Lindsay Broadwell, the Waterford realtor that actually lives in Waterford.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. On behalf of our entire team, we want to wish you and your family a happy holiday season. Our team is grateful that we were able to help so many Michiganders refinance their home and purchase a new home in 2020. Happy holidays from Hall Financial.
Welcome to Grow Green, the green standard for garden supplies here in Michigan over the past 10 years. We offer the best gardening and lawn care products and have an extremely knowledgeable staff to help you create your dream garden or make your yard the envy of the neighborhood. Shop the store located in Whitmore Lake or online at growgreenmi.com. Delivery and curbside pickup available. Grow Green, making Michigan greener one grower at a time.
We wake up every day with a choice. Keep going down the same unfulfilling path or start chasing the life we dream about. At Northwestern Tech, we want to make that choice easier by allowing you to keep working your job while training for a real career in heating and cooling. And our hands-on program is only 10.5 months. So getting in the field and building a career and actually waking up with a purpose could be a lot easier than you think. Northwestern Tech, the HVAC school that works.
All right, what's up? Glad you could join us. 12:35 on a Tuesday afternoon. He's Joique Bell. I'm Sean Baligian. So glad you could join us here. Woodward Sports. So in case you're just joining us, and Joique and I are going to tell you how the D2 does things, because it is a brilliant, and very doable playoff. A legitimate playoff where, as the man said, We as fans want it. What do you think these players want? Settle it on
the field.
Freaking field, right?
Period.
In case you missed it, Josh Gaddis had some comments yesterday in support of Ohio State and the Big Ten. Here's what he said. Regardless of polls, a 6-0 Big Ten team deserves in. No conference has had to endure more. 1, the emotional roller coaster if the season would happen. 2, no fans all year environment. 3, 21-day protocol to miss games / add in injuries and contract tracing. And 4, inability to reschedule. So he's taken some heat. He deleted the tweet. I asked you guys a question. What's wrong with what he said? And you know what? You guys responded. Steve said, not a thing. Need to keep the hype in big, even for Michigan State. You get it. Kenny said, this is why I hate Michigan fans so much. Steve said, I agree 100% with what he said. As a Michigan fan, I hate Michigan fans. Kenny said, no offense. They're biggest entitled crybabies in college. Scott said, as a Michigan fan, I can root for any Big Ten team in the playoff except Ohio State. I can't do it. Steve said, but Ohio State is making us look better as a conference. Kenny said, are they, though? Because most of the time when they play, it looks like they're playing a D2 team.
What does that mean, D2 team? What does that mean? What do you mean by that, Kenny? Huh? What do you mean?
All right, so here's the thing. And this is what, for years I used to have this argument on the radio. If I tell you I'm the best, if I tell you my conference is the best, I have to have something to support that. And I think a lot of times what Big Ten fans have done around here is talk about our history. And you know, that people go, well, that's great, but what have you done recently? When your best beat their best, that's when you can say, you can make the argument in a year, hey, did you see what number 2 Ohio State did? They knocked off number 1 Alabama en route to the national championship.
Yeah.
Did you see what number 5 Michigan State did? They knocked off number 4 Stanford. They knocked off number 3 Baylor.
That's
whatever
the type
the case
of pressure,
may be.
like that's the type of pressure we need when it comes to a playoff game.
You
we
got
need
it.
that type of pressure.
You got
we
it.
need the underdog. You know, so let's go back to 2011 season with Wayne State. How we were the last seed to get in, and we had to win 4 games, all on the road, against the top teams in the country. Teams that we shouldn't have any business beating. We
On the road.
On the road.
On the road.
On the road.
They host home games all the way to the championship game, just so you know.
Fast forward, we go to St. Clair or
St. Cloud.
St. Cloud.
Mhm.
Is that Lake Superior? Up in Lake Superior?
No, Minnesota. Minnesota, yeah, St. Cloud.
That was the first one.
That was the first one in the pouring snow. Yep.
All right. And then the second one was
Nebraska Kearney.
And then the third one was Minnesota Duluth.
Mm-hmm.
Then they had to go down to Winston-Salem, who was a D1 team that they dropped down to D2 that year, correct?
Mm-hmm.
They were
Mhm.
14-0. Didn't have a shot there.
No chance.
No chance. Beat them 21-14,
Mhm.
win that game,
Mhm.
and go to the national championship
You
game.
got it.
A school that should have never been in it. Won it.
Earned
it.
Went out and won games.
And so
on the road.
So for them to say this won't be fair to the student athlete, are you telling me that the student athlete that's the underdog wouldn't want an opportunity to take that road to get to the national championship game and have an opportunity to win it, and no one counted them in? Everybody counted them out? That story sounds familiar.
That is the two stupid arguments I hear about a national playoff in Division I are so disrespectful to guys like him that spilled blood in the D2, it makes me sick. I mean, you guys know the arguments, right? Let's go through the arguments. That's not fair to the student athlete to ask him to play 16 games. Okay, so are you saying that the D1 athlete is more important than the D2 athlete? Because that's what they do. Is that what you're saying? You can't be saying that, right? You can't be saying that. Well, that's too many weeks in a row, especially at the holidays. Well, again, just look no further than the D2. That's what's been happening in the D2 for years. So here's what they do in case you don't know how it works, okay? 2018 playoff, 4 number 1 seeds. All number 1 seeds get the first week off. You got yourself a bye. That leaves 24 teams, okay? Those 24 teams play each other, 12 teams go on, you reinsert the number 1 seeds from that point on, you got yourself a 16-team playoff. It's fantastic. And don't tell me that you can't make money off of that. Let me ask you something, okay? You're a Michigan State fan. You're a Michigan fan. It is the first week of December. Michigan State is at home hosting, pick somebody, Sean, Arizona State, hosting Arizona State. Are you going to tell me that you're not going to go to that playoff game? You're lying through your teeth. You would have gone and seen Michigan State play Ohio State had they played a couple weeks ago. Michigan fans, are you going to tell me that you're not going to go to a home game and take on Auburn? You're not going to go to Michigan-Auburn in the first week of December in the Big House? Let me tell you something. I would. I'm not a Michigan fan. I'd be there like that. Are you kidding me?
Seriously.
It's the greatest. And the same thing can be said. You can still sell all those things that make money. Still call it, heck, a de facto bowl game if you had to travel down to Auburn or Auburn had to travel up here. It's insanity. And I think this is almost like the same argument that we had forever about expanding it to the college football playoff.
And this is where the money aspect comes into it.
You got it.
Wherever you get a team that's not a known team making it all the way to the championship, and now ticket sales might not be where you think they might be, you know, what happens then?
Yep.
Is that what we're really talking about here, or are we really talking about the student athlete?
It's what it's about. Like stop it. It's becoming a grotesque joke. Stop talking about the student athlete. It's about money. You're not fooling anybody anymore. You can drop it. Like, it's cool. Everybody's an adult. We all know what's going on. You just drop it. And so if it is about the student athlete, well, then let's ask the student athlete what they think. Would you like the opportunity to prove on the football field that you're better than anybody else and you're capable of going on a run?
We want to play the best.
Right there.
Period. How can you call yourself the champion if you're not willing to go out and play the best?
I don't get it. Tom brought up, picture an SEC team up here in Big Ten in the snow getting blown out. Laugh out loud. 1 year of that, and it will be neutral site in the future. And you know what? You can use neutral sites. You can say we're going to play at Ford Field. We're going to play in Indy. We're going to play, make it a neutral field, so maybe you don't even have to host it. I'm just using it as an example in the D2 because that's how they do it. Are you telling me that you couldn't fill out Ford Field? Michigan fans? Michigan and Auburn. It's a semi, a quarterfinal game in the college football playoff. That place would be off the hook with Auburn fans alone. Forget about Michigan 30 miles away. Auburn fans would come up en masse to fill that place.
When they had the Motor City Classic that was packed out.
Yep.
You can only imagine they had the national championship game here or any type of semifinal game here. It'll be nuts.
When the Motor City Bowl first started, there was, because I was doing Toledo broadcasts at the time, and we lost to Randy Moss and Chad Pennington in the MAC championship game. So it sucked, but they were obviously two guys that went on to the NFL and did some things. That Moss guy was all right. I think that's safe to say. Mm-hmm. But they, the first Motor City Bowl was at the Pontiac Silverdome, and it was Marshall against Ole Miss. And anybody that was there, if you're of that age where Joique was off the hook, it was one of the best experiences ever. It was if memory serves me correct, it was December 23rd, 1997. It was before Christmas as opposed to after Christmas. The hype in that building was unbelievable. And Deuce McAllister was playing. I'm sure you remember Deuce.
Big Deuce.
Deuce was playing for Ole Miss, and you had Randy and Chad playing for Marshall. The place was packed. It was hype. It was like such a win, And now magnify that by having it a playoff game and having, God forbid, one of your teams playing it. Big Ten representative number 1 plays a game in Indy. Big Ten representative number 2, the 8th seed or whatever, plays a game in Ford Field. Are you going to tell me that place wouldn't be packed and you could make money off of it?
Everybody's going.
Oh my gosh. Scott said the Silverdome was the worst stadium to have a great experience at. I'll tell you what, the place was hyped that day though, Scott. Trust me. It really, the Silverdome was an absolute dump. Did you ever go to the Silverdome when you were a kid? It was a dump.
My first Lions game was the game where they played the Saints for the last home game of the 0-16 season.
Oh yeah, that's what you were telling me. Yeah, that's right. That's
my first game.
Corey, you went. Did you go to the Silverdome?
Yeah, but not for Lions games. I went to the Silverdome for the high school championship.
Okay, the place, I mean, it was an absolute dump. There's no other way to say. You know what, though? But my friends and I know some of them are watching right now, we always use, it was our dump. It was our, you know what? We had our special tailgate spot, over there near Lely's. We'd come in half the time bruised and bloodied because we were playing tackle football and everything. But it was our dump. But it was, Scott, I couldn't agree with you more.
Question
the place
for
was
you.
a dump.
No, question for you.
Yeah.
Now, with the Lions game today, have you been able to tailgate at any games?
I have a couple. It's not the same. I liked Eastern Market a lot.
Yeah.
Eastern Market was a really cool, but the parking lot's like really close to Ford Field. It's not the same.
Not the same?
No.
You guys have the, do you remember when they had like that big brawl in Eastern Market after a game? Do you remember that? They had like a big brawl after one of our games. I think we might have, I don't know if we won. I think we might have lost.
Okay.
It was a big brawl. I think it might have been at the Bears game. I can't remember though. But that's when I realized people were really tailgating in Eastern Market. And it was like a thing. I didn't know it was that. I thought people were like tailgating right there off of Brush Street, next to the stadium. Because I always see people tailgating.
That isn't the same.
Right.
Yeah, it's.
But Eastern Market is like
much better.
Way better.
That's
Way better.
Legitimate over at Eastern
Legit.
Market. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what you do? Like going back to the barbecue thing, you have your guys that set up shop there Saturday afternoon and start smoking Saturday afternoon. And they maybe got a camper or they got, a cot or something. They sleep out there and they do it right.
They do it right.
So yeah, that's the Eastern Market
I love
scene.
the fans here in Detroit.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
It's funny. Somebody said, Mason said, I would go to any game anywhere. I'm the same guy. Whether it be, I don't care if a Big Ten team wasn't here. Let's say for an argument, Clemson, the number 2 seed, is playing at Ford Field against the number, what would it be? Let me do the math in my head. The number 12 seed. The number 12 seed, Marshall at Ford Field. I'm there. Count me in. Wait a second. This is a playoff game? A college football playoff game. A glorified bowl in my backyard? I'm there. I think that was one thing that unfortunately in some of the bowl games here in the past, you didn't get the marquee teams. You got maybe a 6-5 Maryland taking on a 7-5 St. Crap State or whatever the case may be. But you get like a playoff game around. Corey with a K, are you going? Saturday afternoon, you got a playoff game in your own backyard at Ford Field. Clemson taking on Marshall, whatever the case may be. To me, that's destination. You're there.
Oh, I'm there no matter what. I don't care who's playing. I mean, it's just like with college basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. Scott said, Joique, you should be thankful you never played there. The field was concrete painted green. Season ticket holder for the Express back in the day. Just a terrible field. You know what it was like? Northern's football field. Remember Northern Michigan? Yeah,
just Northern or Mercyhurst. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was terrible. I came out of Northern actually pretty okay, but when I played on that Mercyhurst field, they had that old AstroTurf. No, you couldn't wear cleats. You had to wear like they had on tennis shoes playing on that field.
Jeez, oh Pete.
Oh, it was rough.
Jeez, oh Pete.
Spraying MCL, everything that game. I'm like, wow, like this. I never want to play here again.
Jenna said, I went to games for years when I was younger at the Silverdome. Had some great memories there. At least for a kid, it was great. Sean said, Silverdome was a great dumb venue, but the best fan versus fan interaction. Stories are nonstop, especially the Lions versus the Vikings. Barry's highlight reel. And to both of your points, like, here's the crazy thing about the Silverdome.
Yeah.
I loved the Silverdome. It was our dump. Like, I can't say that enough. And my buddy
when they tore
Mike.
It down, did you take something? Did you go back and grab something?
I should have. Like my buddy Mike, who's going to be part of the Smoke Show, who's commenting right now, he said some great memories. That's kind of where we started to cut our teeth cutting things. All right, hey, we got 10 guys going with us to the game. What are you going to do? I got some sausages. All right, I'll make some chili. All right, so, I mean, you're talking 30 years ago. So, like, I hope you guys can understand that. I think both things can coexist. The place was a dump, but I loved the dump.
Right.
Does that make sense? It
right.
was. It's almost like Joe Louis.
Another man's trash is another man's treasure. For real.
Joe Louis, I have unbelievable memories of Joe Louis. I think everybody does. The place was a flipping dump.
Did you take something from there?
Yes, I did. I took a couple things from there.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
Somebody hooked me up. I'm going to give a shout out to a former wing who hooked me up with some pretty cool stuff from there, actually. But no, I mean, and so again, I think both things can be true. It was time to move to a new place, but it was a dump. And I loved it, but it was our dump. And a lot of it does come down to memories, going there on Thanksgiving Day when I was 16 years old, telling my dad I was going to play football. Dad, I'm confessing to you now.
Yeah.
Dad, remember when I was 16 and I missed Thanksgiving dinner and I told you I went and played football with my friends? I was at the Lions game. What are you going to do, ground me? But I mean, honestly, that's those are some of the memories that I have.
We're gonna have a day where it's gonna be like confession day, and we're gonna say something we did when we were younger that our parents don't know now.
I confessed something to my dad, and it was funny because it was tough on guys like you and I. We had cops for dads.
Yeah.
You just don't get away with a lot with a cop. They're always smelling things out, man. There's a sixth sense with cops, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a pretty good confession with him a few years ago, and it was so funny because I could see the old dad kind of pop in, and he kind of gave me this look, and he was like, I knew there was something didn't add up with that story. And I go, I got away with it.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. So it's kind of funny how that works.
Kenny, you have any confessions?
Her dad's like 20 feet away, isn't she? No, Kennedy's been a saint, and there's no doubt about that.
Give us one confession.
There's a halo over her head.
When I was in 8th grade.
When you were in 8th grade?
I went on like my first date with a boy.
Yeah.
And like his mom picked us up and dropped me off and stuff. And when I got home, I had to really quick curl my hair because he gave me a hickey. So I had to say that I burnt myself with a curling iron.
What? Did you get away with it? Did you get away?
Did your dad?
I was in 8th grade.
Did your dad just find this out? Like, is he finding this out right now if he's listening right now, or does he already know the truth?
Hey, no.
Dad! It's like your brother. I'm telling Dad.
And you would never expect that because it's always the quiet ones. It's always the quiet ones. Gotta watch out for them.
Kenny does a great job as our intern, and she really is. I hope you take this in a pride. You're just a sweet, pleasant person, right?
is.
You really are. She's always smiling, and I appreciate that as somebody who goes through life trying to smile and everything. So, Dad!
Yeah, bring it here. All right, let's pivot real quick. Let's talk about the Lions real quick and their head coach. They don't have one right now, and I think the last head coach to get fired from the Lions or relieved of his duties from the Lions, they got another head coaching job somewhere else, is who?
Dick Drum.
Got it. And now the Houston Texans has brought in who?
Jim Caldwell.
Jim Caldwell.
Yep.
And now he might have an opportunity to go there and play. And he's very busy. I mean, he's building a new house. He's trying to get settled. He's traveling to Houston.
He's in Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Caldwell?
Yeah, Caldwell, building a house there. And now he's traveling out to Houston for this opportunity here. Wish him the best, man. Love Coach Caldwell.
And don't forget, Jerron was just an interim coach as well. So it's called the Curse of the Lions for a reason. I want to get your take because yesterday everything kind of came out with the special teams coach. And I got to be completely honest with you. And if I'm wrong, you yell at me, okay? I don't care what you think the best call was. And a lot of fans out there were mad at Coach Bevel for not going for it on 4th down. There is a chain of command. You cannot go rogue. That is wrong every single time, and it is a fireable offense. You cannot do that. Yeah. Period. End of story. Do I think they should have gone for it? Why the hell not? In a season like this with an interim coach, go for it. I'd blitz everybody. My base defense would be send them. I'd blitz every gosh damn play. Who the hell cares? Let's try to make something happen. Give the guys something to be excited about. Right. But I was kind of taken aback yesterday, Joique, at all the people on social media that were kind of getting combed back on this. It's wrong. It's insubordination. You have a job to do. The coach said he's not going for it on 4th down. Mm-hmm. I don't give a damn what you think. You can't go rogue. He got what he deserved.
That's true. You can't do that. I remember. I'll give you I'll give you an example. 2012. I can't remember who we're playing, but it's Titus Young, and we called a play, and this particular play, Tony Sheffield was supposed to get the ball based off the route. Titus knew that, so Titus lined up in Tony's spot, and Tony came to the spot, and he said, "Titus, you're in my spot." He said, and I'm not paraphrasing, this is exactly what Tony said. He said, Titus said, no, you line up over there. He said, no, but this is my spot. This is where I'm supposed to line up at. He said, no, you line up there. He said, I don't know what that, you line up there. And so it was like in the middle of the play, so he had to hurry up, or we're going to get a delay of game. So he lines up there, and Titus runs the play. And I don't really know what's going on till after the fact, but all I see is, who was the receiver coach at the time? We called him OG. The receiver coach.
I remember.
OG was running up and down the sideline going nuts.
Was it Sean Jefferson?
Sean Jefferson,
OG.
Yeah. Oh, we called him OG though.
Yeah.
Coach OG.
Because his career wasn't that far in the rearview mirror, if I remember, too.
Coach OG was running up and down the sideline. He will never play for me again. He's out of here. I mean, the only thing I would see is like Titus is sitting on the sideline on the bench like nothing happened. Like he was literally sitting on the bench like nothing happened. And I'm like, what happened? And then Tony came over and told me what happened. I'm like, no way that just happened. Tony was like a 7-year vet at the, like a 6-7 year vet at the time.
Bronco.
Yeah. And I was blue back, and that was Titus' last year playing with the Lions, and so you get fired for stuff like that,
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I want to bring up a couple comments from people here. Steve said, "I love your consistency, Sean. First down blitz, second down blitz, third down blitz. You've been coaching that way for years. That's my defense. Send them. What do you want to do this play, coach? Send them. Hey, coach, second and 22. What do you want to do? Send them." Matt said, everybody upset at a special teams coach that probably wasn't going to be around next season anyway. I got some thoughts on that. Hold that to yourself.
Yeah.
Kenny asked, does he get fired if it works? That is another question. What do you think? Do you think he gets fired if it works?
Hey, does the coach yell at a player for shooting the three and making it?
There you go.
Yeah.
You know what? I think this was an excuse, going back to the earlier comment. I think this was an excuse for everybody to pile on the Lions.
I tell you this. Do I think he has that meeting with him after the game if he gets it and they end up winning the game or gives him momentum to go forward? I don't think he gets fired. I think he's on thin ice.
Yeah.
But in that situation, it was over with.
Yeah.
It was done. Yeah.
No doubt.
That's what I think what happened.
Do you have something to add, Corey, with K?
Yeah, I was in a press conference yesterday with Bevel, and he basically just said that the reason that he fired him, that the reason it was fired is because he blatantly went against the strategy. He said if he wanted to go for it in that position, he would have trusted the ball in Stafford's hand, but Stafford took a nasty hit on that drive, so we felt with the situation with the timeouts and the warning that it was better to go ahead and punt. So he said it was direct defiance that he said.
Oh, it is. It was pure insubordination. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
and you nailed it, Corey. You told me you kind of thought that there had been something brewing for a few weeks, and that is the sounds of it now, that this wasn't an isolated incident, that this is a young man that might have a bright future ahead of him, that might be done, that he wanted to go rogue. All right, we got to get out of here, right?
We got to get out of here.
All right.
All right.
Take care. We'll see you guys tomorrow, the day before Christmas. So it's Christmas Eve. We're going to have some fun tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to be wearing these again.
We're not wearing these shirts tomorrow, but you know what? I might wear it for Christmas Eve because he's doing it. Thank you guys for tuning in. You have Sean Baligian. You have Joique Bill here. Thanks for tuning in to the Baligian the Bell show here at Wilbur Sports. Appreciate you guys.